Hi, my name is Matt Adelman, and today I want to share my own experience of applying to a Doctor of Physical Therapy program and give you advice on how to do that and how to give you the best opportunity to do so. Just a little bit of a background on me. I am finishing up my first year at Sacramento State University's DPT program. I graduated in 2019 from San Diego State University with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology, and I have a background in health, fitness, nutrition, but I don't want to focus on that right now. I want to focus on giving my own advice on helping you get into physical therapy school. Now, when I was making this video or coming up with the thinking process of it, I was trying to think, what could I talk about? There are obviously a lot of different ways to go about addressing trying to get into physical therapy school. Each physical therapy school is different. They all have different requirements. Maybe they're looking for different things. So it's really hard to narrow those criteria down in that sense. But I want to focus more on the general aspects of physical therapy that anyone who is looking to apply can improve on. And the first thing that immediately came to mind was trying to get your inpatient hours. Now, what is an inpatient setting? How I define it is any setting where the patient will stay at a facility for more than 24 hours. So this includes places like hospitals, could include your skilled nursing facilities, places like that. Now, this is often the biggest challenge for applicants when they're trying to get the required hours. Some schools require, most schools require at least 2 different settings when they're taking in their applications. And some schools require maybe, depending on the school, up to 25 hours worth of each, coming in for a grand total of 100. So if we're looking for the number 25 inpatient hours, an inpatient setting is the hardest or most difficult setting to get volunteer hours in. How are you going to do it? Where are you going to go? And I kind of attacked this when I was thinking about, how I can help you guys. If you have, obviously right now with COVID, it makes it very difficult to open up opportunities. People aren't opening up. Maybe they're not willing to hire more people right now. But as soon as things start to open up, that needs to be your first priority. You need to find some sort of hospital internship, volunteer, paid, something to help get you those inpatient hours, especially if you're looking for that key number of 25. And you could also, you don't necessarily have to look at just hospitals. You could look at skilled nursing facilities. And a lot of applicants, at least from what I know of, they're focused on outpatient orthopedic, get me in outpatient. And those outpatient jobs are everywhere. Well, again, especially when quarantine ends, all that stuff, starts to wind down, outpatient is always going to be there. You're always going to have the opportunity to go outpatient. So as soon as things start to open up, you need to find inpatient hours. Apply to a skilled nursing facility, apply to a hospital. Apply everywhere and anywhere that you can. Do as best you can, and that'll help set you up for the long run. Next thing. Now, obviously with Zoom, at least for at my school, we're going to be going online in the fall semester. You need to find a way to talk to your professors. Most schools these days require at least one letter to be a letter of recommendation from a professor. Usually it's one professor, one physical therapist, and then another letter of either or. You can kind of vary that based on who you know and who you talk to. And it shouldn't matter how big your class is. Some people have complained, at least people I've talked to, 300, my class is 300 people, and it's just so hard to get that in-person connection. I get it. But you need to go talk to them. Now, how can you do that? They have office hours. It's a literal opportunity for you to go talk to your professors and try to get to know them. And the follow-up question people ask is, I never know what to ask. I don't know what to say to them. They're people too, you know. They want to engage in conversation for the most part. That's why they have these office hours. Now, the question is, what can you ask them? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is you can focus on the lecture material. When I first started to get to know the professor who ended up writing my own letter of recommendation, I wrote down questions from all the lecture material, study guides, as many questions as I could, and I brought those into his office hours. Now, did I know the answers to those questions? Probably most of them. Did I need to necessarily go to his office hours to get clarification on those? Not necessarily. But it gave me the opportunity to get to know my professor and trying to start conversations maybe outside of class. Maybe focus on, maybe they're doing some research. Maybe there's some point that they brought up in lecture that you want to talk about. I think one of the first things I talked about with my professor is he gave a lecture on different protein powders and supplements, and I was curious. So I asked him, I have this type of protein powder. How can is there a better one out there? What do you recommend? And we got on this whole long train of conversation. So it's starting with the things that interest you, that goes within the interests of the class and maybe the professor, him or herself, and going from there. Have a conversation. The thing about physical therapists is that we for the most part, are people. Personally, I love engaging with people. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. And for professors, especially if you want a letter of recommendation, that's what you need to do. Now, the next thing is to get involved on campus. Now, this can go in many different ways. This could be in getting involved in physical therapist-related clubs. This could involve just talking to people in the field. Get involved. Especially in your internships, in your volunteer paid, and as your PT aide, whatever it is. Get to know people, network, talk to people, make relationships. Be friends with the people who will help build you up, who will make you a better person. And if you can do that, you're setting yourself up for the long run, not just in applying for physical therapy school, but also in the long run where you have these lifelong friends that will help push you to be the best person that you can be. Now, the last thing is you kind of need to be honest with yourself on this one. How is your GPA? Now, most schools require at least, I believe it's a bare minimum of 3.0. Do you have at least that? If you do, that's great. But can it be better? How can you improve it? Do you need to retake a class? Do you need to go talk to your professor in their office hours? What can you do to give yourself the best chance to succeed? Now, answer that question honestly. Did I put in my best effort? And that kind of goes along with the whole point of me making this video. If going to physical therapy school is something you want, you have to earn it. You need to get yourself to the point where you can say, I have done everything that I can do. When I apply to this program, I have done everything. I have participated, I have done my hours, I have completed my letters of recommendation, I have the best possible grades that I could get. I want, as I'm talking to you right now, I want there to be no doubt in your mind when you say, I am fully ready to apply to physical therapy school. The hardest part about the physical therapies field is getting in. And if you want to set yourself up to be that future physical therapist that you've always wanted to be, you need to earn it and you need to get in. After that, you're in, you learn as much as you can, and then you're that physical therapist. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was able to help you in some way. If you liked what I said in the video, feel free to give it a like. Feel free to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications button. And I'm not really quite sure what this channel is going to be. I'm not sure if I want to talk about maybe more fitness-related content. It could be physical therapy. I could give critiques on other YouTube channels. I'm not really sure where this is going to go. So if you have any options, or if you have any suggestions for me to talk about, any feedback on this video, I would really appreciate your input. I want to try to make these videos the best videos as possible. And with your help, I really think that I can make that happen. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.